Assalamu alaikum and welcome you to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from Atomic Junction, Benab House, Medina. Coming up this afternoon, Ghana Health Service Director calls for urgent employment of nurses. Police arrest truck driver alleged to have caused train crash. Government starts rehabilitation of major roads in Ejiso ahead of by-elections. This and more coming up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Moving on to our first story. The Bunu Regional Director of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kofi Amokodie, has called on the government and stakeholders to urgently post unemployed nurses to fill the gap in a bid to address the shortage of health personnel in the country. His plea follows the increased number of nurses leaving the country to seek greener pastures over lack of employment.
Kofi Amokodie, in an interview with the media, explained that the region is experiencing a significant number of nurses leaving the country for greener pastures elsewhere, with a total of 163 nurses departing in the year 2023 alone. Additionally, Dr. Amokodie also highlighted the departure of doctors from the region, although not as significant as the nurses. He emphasized the importance of hosting nurses who have completed their education and practical experience but have not yet been employed, as well as those who have finished their national service, to ensure that the health service is not diversely affected by the shortage of personnel. He said the nurses and doctors are leaving, but not as much as the nurses. He said in the year 2023, the country lost 163 nurses to greener pastures, and that from January to now, Ghana has lost more than the year 2023 figures. But there are nurses in their homes not employed yet. Therefore, when they are on board, the service will not be affected at all. He added that they urge the government to quickly employ nurses who have finished their education, practical experiences, and national service, and it will be proactive enough and push them into the system so that they can have the equity they need.
The driver of a Hyundai truck with registration number GS 9018-20 has been apprehended by the Ghana Police Service for allegedly abandoning his truck on the Tema Mpakadan railway line, which resulted in a train crash on Thursday. According to the police, their initial investigations have indicated that the driver left the truck unattended on the railway line, causing it to collide with a new DMU train, that had recently been procured from Poland.
The suspect's identity has yet to be established, but the police have stated that they are continuing their investigation into the matter. The Ministry of Railways Development stated that the train was on a test run when it crashed into the unattended truck parked in its path in a cave at approximately 12:10 p.m. Despite the train's emergency braking system being immediately applied, it was unable to come to a complete stop before colliding with the vehicle. The ministry also confirmed that there were no fatalities from the accident, but the driver's cabin was damaged and the truck was destroyed.
And moving on, Ghana's parliament has dismissed accusations that Speaker Alban Bagbin is delaying the recall of members of parliament due to his political affiliation. A statement released on Thursday, April 18, 2024, by the Parliamentary Service clarified that the House is currently in recess with MPs attending to constituents, while Bagbin is on assignment in Dubai.
The statement emphasized that no MP has requested an early recall. Parliament described attempts by outsiders to pressure a recall as frivolous and vexatious, an unwelcome intrusion into parliamentary affairs. The statement added that it is instructive to know that no such request has been made by any member of parliament, and so the call for a recall of parliament by persons outside of parliament is frivolous and vexatious and amount to meddling in the work of parliament. Parliament acknowledged the necessity for collaboration and consensus building due to its balanced nature, dismissing as unfounded any insinuations that the Speaker's failure to heed calls for a recall are due to his political ties with the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC). He added that Parliament is aware of the need for collaboration and consensus building because of its hung nature, and the Speaker has sought throughout his tenure to remain neutral and fair in his dealings. Therefore, to insinuate that the Speaker is not heeding calls for a recall because of his political allegiance to the National Democratic Congress (NDC) is unfounded and unfortunate. Parliament wishes to state that, barring any emergency or unforeseen circumstances, it is likely to reconvene in the later part of May 2024.
Organized labor has warned of a potential strike on May 2nd, 2024 if the government fails to fulfill its obligations to pay the Tier 2 pension of its members. The Trade Union Congress and its associated unions assert that despite numerous appeals, the government has disregarded their demands.
Dr. Anthony Yauban, Secretary General of the TUC, emphasized that with the government's persistent inaction, organized labor sees no alternative but to resort to strike action. The public sector unions under the forum has already given notice that on the 2nd of May, if they do not hear anything about the payment of their second tier on the 30th of April, they will strike. He added that they want to send this notice to the government that if by the 30th of April they don't do anything about the second tier on the 2nd May, they will all join the forum. The National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, on Thursday also expressed deep concern over the government's alleged failure to pay mandatory contribution for over 700,000 Ghanaian workers. NAGRAT President Angel Kabonu accused the government of financial misconduct during a press conference on Thursday, April 18. He specifically highlighted the non-payment of Tier 2 pension scheme contributions and other third-party deductions since July 2023. Mr. Kabonu emphasized that these contributions are being deducted from workers' salary but not reaching the designated institution. They said this raises serious doubts, according to NAGRAT, about the future financial security of these workers, particularly upon retirement.
The government has commenced the rehabilitation of major roads within communities in the Ejisu municipality, pledging to ensure the completion of the projects. Roads and Highways Minister Francis Asensu Boache, who led the officials of the ministry to inspect the ongoing project on Thursday, April 18th, dismissed assertions that the projects were being done because of the upcoming by-election in the area.
According to the ministry, the government is undertaking about 32 road infrastructure projects within the Ejisu constituency, which are being carried out by the Urban, Feeder and Highway departments. The minister noted that the contracts were awarded in the past 3 months when the late Member of Parliament for Ejisu, John Ampontua Kuma, was still alive. He insists the constructions are not solely for the upcoming by-election in the constituency. Added that currently, about 32 projects are going on in the municipality. These projects include Urban Roads, Ghana Highway Authority, and Feeder Roads projects.
And finally, in sport, Asante Kotoko received a directive from Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II to revitalize their season following the series of setbacks. The team's recent struggle with 7 winless games in the Ghana Premier League and a position of 11th after 26 matches prompted the call to action.
In a crucial meeting convened by the Asantehene, discussions were initiated with the players and technical team to identify the root causes of their poor performances. Addressing the team's concerns, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II emphasized the collective responsibility of the players, stating that no individual serves anyone but the team itself. He urged them to set aside differences and unite for the team's success, underlining his expectation for improved performances. Indirectly suggesting potential consequences for the coach if necessary, he urged the team to focus on winning their upcoming match against league leaders FC Samatex on March the 27th, thereby signaling a path to redemption.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. My name is Sharifatu Ayuba. Enjoy the rest of our programs.